All right, I've been working pretty much all day on this, taking off the Scotch tape and all of the circle hole punches and things like that. Turns out the cogs that are in the driven spindle, this is the idler on this side, but you get the idea. There's one here and it's gluing right now because the bottom post broken off. Um, anyway, that has 4 square cogs on it. Which is good because some of these holes, either if they're not in the right spot or they're too small or whatever, or elongated, it's not just one cog that's moving it. You've got probably 3 engaged, the front, the back, and the middle, two to 3. So if you've got, 2 bad ones that consecutive, you might run into trouble, or, it would jump out of the cog or whatever. But anyway, I think these are better. I put tape on the front. Packing tape rather than Scotch tape, and then I cut it on 3 sides and I folded the flap back to kind of strengthen the pushed edge here, and then I put tape on the back, and I had to cut the holes all open again after I did that. But there's new tape on the back and there's new tape on the front, and they're squared off. So we shall see how this works. Like I said, I was gluing this driven spindle. I've oiled the motor. I'm letting that run just to kind of move the oil into the pivots. And when this is dry tomorrow, I'm going to make another attempt at putting this back together. And one of the things I did, I used a heat gun to get some of the Scotch tape off. And heat on tape turns into shrink wrap, so that I got some wrinkles in here. This isn't so bad. There's a bad spot over here. This is pretty bad right here. So we'll see how that tracks. The nice thing is with this is how you set the time. There's a little slip clutch on this, so you can turn this without stripping the gears on the thing. You can turn this, which turns the spindle to set the clock time of this display across the front. And these are all the different time zones up on the top. So you can kind of use that to set your main clock. And we'll see how that all turns out when I put it back together. Hopefully another video tomorrow will drop, and we'll see how this is tracking. If this works, this repair, then I might consider doing the LED upgrade. I can't go all the way across, but I could probably get 2 more inches here. With all of this stuff out of the way, could probably start the LED strip a little closer to the motor and bring it over to here, and then do the same things down below. You want the light to be between the front face that's going through the windows where you can see the time, and then the back. So it would be, basically the light is going to be in that same, in this same location. But I think I could get a little wider, and if I can get light on the bottom, you can see how much light you get here versus even down here vertically, but even in the corners it gets pretty dark. So it would be nice to be able to read the times for all the places in the world, not just as they come across the the centerpiece or whatever. So we'll see how that works, but that's an upgrade. First we have to see if we can get it restored and everything's working. I have oiled the motor, and I'm letting that run a little bit to kind of settle in. It does get a little warm, but not too bad. And I've got it basically oiled and then let this run and see. It does seem to be running and moving slowly. The gears are moving slowly. So that's about it. That's the upgrade, or update. Sorry, not upgrade. The LEDs are the upgrade if I go that far. I'm also going to call Howard Miller. They're actually pretty good about support, even for old stuff. They've been building clocks for a long time. The grandfather clocks and things. This is a 612-371, but what I was found interesting is it has a dial number. Well, guess what? This paper scroll is the dial. So I wonder if I could search online, or call up and just say I want a 272097F. Serial number probably tells when it was made, or gives them some more information. And movement is the clock, or the motor. So wouldn't hurt to give them a call and just to see what they've got there. If they can help me out with a new scroll, that would be neat. or maybe somebody's taken this and reprinted it, and they have a knockoffs available, whatever. But between the circle hole punch turning into squares, which is the size of the cogs are square, and cleaning it up a little bit, and I think getting the spacing a little better. Some of the hole punches were high and some of them were low and things like that. I'm hoping this will work a little better, but we'll see. That's my update. Stay tuned. It looks like there'll be a part 3 after we put it back together and give it a test.